We're checking in with the world of gaming now and looking at two games that could just turn the PR war around for Nintendo. It's been a rough couple of months for the gaming giant, with questionable communication taking the shine off the brand a bit. So what will it take to make it sparkle again?
Nintendo has, for the latter part of last year and the early part of 2014, been on the back foot. They haven't seen much success with the Wii U due mainly to bad communication on the corporation side, leading consumers to think that the Wii U is a controller extension for the original Wii, or not being aware that it even exists at all. Nintendo's bad streak could be about to change with an incredible lineup of games hitting the console. Specifically, two games whose characters are staples to the Nintendo franchise. Mario is a staple franchise that's become for most rather predictable and samey. If you've ever owned a Nintendo, the familiar run from the left to the right of the screen and collect coins is rather expected. But in Super Mario 3D World, don't be fooled by what initially appears to be the same thing. Nintendo proved that they have more than a few tricks left up their sleeve. The biggest changes they've performed have been to the level design. It's possibly the most predictable part of any Mario game. Nintendo often utilizing the same original level, or at least a rehash of it in the beginning, simply to remind you of what to expect. They've changed it up by adding new gameplay mechanics such as running up walls, new suits, and the such like. To begin with, and if the name didn't give it away, the world is not in fact 2D. That's right, it's 3D, similar to the way that Mario Galaxy is 3D. It's not as innovative, but it's still an incredible game. The inclusion of 4-player cooperative play means tons of fun for the whole family, with gameplay easy enough for Granny to get involved. Let's not forget to mention that the soundtrack is super bouncy and entertaining, making the joy it oozes effervescent. It's well worth picking up. Another smash hit game that Nintendo are releasing is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. In typical Nintendo fashion and doing what they do best, Tropical Freeze is a 2D side-scroller with a few 3D elements thrown in, but nothing to distract from its core, slick, but most importantly, fun gameplay. The game is beautiful and feels like Nintendo evolved using the engine on the Wii U. Don't worry, this doesn't distract from the amazing gameplay, but shifts the production that we've come to expect from Nintendo into a whole new level. The 2-player co-op that has been thrown in is just as fun as you'd expect it to be. If you've never liked Nintendo or their main trajectory when it comes to their games, you probably won't find anything new here. Rather save up for that Xbox One or PlayStation 4. But if on the other hand you've loved Nintendo but were a little disheartened with their direction on their last Wii console, it's time to get excited. Let's get it on like Donkey Kong.